Hi, this is Audra James from AudraAnikaJames.com, and today I want to talk to you about what happens if your company gets sued or, even worse, shut down by a governmental authority like the FTC. Now, this has happened recently with a couple of few firms. MOBE, for one, Digital Altitude, both got shut down by the FTC, MOBE the most recently, and Monat is actually being sued about something going wrong with their hair products. Now, before I go on, I want to say that I am not making any kind of judgment or assumptions about any of those companies or the people who run them, okay? We know that sometimes there are legitimate, really good reasons that companies get sued or shut down by governmental authorities, because not everybody always does the right thing, right? But we also know that just because someone is being sued or gets temporarily shut down or being investigated by a governmental authority doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing anything wrong, okay? And so I don't know any facts in order to make any kind of opinions, but I will say that first of all, the first thing that you should probably do before you invest your time and your money in any kind of opportunity is to do your homework and do your research, okay? Sometimes doing your homework and your research isn't always going to come up with something, right? But, you know, try the product first before you sell the product, for example. Do something to get yourself comfortable with the company. Now, all of these folks that have joined the company, obviously were super comfortable and super excited about it. But what's some of the other things that you can do, right? Well, first of all, before anything happens, God forbid if it does, to your company, there's some things that you should be doing now to help prevent yourself from being too burned in the future, okay? The first thing is save, 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 okay? When you're starting a business, sometimes most people do it part-time as on the side. The first thing that you should do is to make sure that your business is actually in profit, right? That your business expenses are being covered by the income that you get from the business itself, okay? Then the next thing that you should do is to obviously invest in your business, but when you start becoming profitable, that you can start taking some money out of your business, bring down your debt, okay? Save, save, save your money and bring down your debt. The more that you have in savings and the less debt you have, the easier it will be to bounce back if, God forbid, that income stream disappears, especially if you are super successful and fortunate enough to actually be able to transition to doing something like this full time, okay? So that's super, super, super common sense, but believe it or not, a lot of people don't do that. So that's something that you should be doing now, regardless of whether your company is being investigated or not, okay? Do it now. Even if they never get investigated, that's great. You should be doing this anyway, okay? The second thing is to have multiple streams of income. Now, I want to, put a caveat on here, because really what you should be doing is getting the skill set to do really well with one stream of income. But then once you can get to that point, please add on another. Sometimes adding on other streams of income could be as simple as being a part of affiliate programs, using the tools that you're using to run your business so that when you bring somebody new onto your team, you can recommend that tool and get an income from that, get a small commission from that. Become an Amazon affiliate, right? And so all of the books and all the cool stuff that you're reading and doing in order to help educate yourself, you can obviously recommend that to people that are on your team or people that reach out to you. So these are some simple ways that you can add on and have multiple streams of income without it being too much of a distraction away from your primary goal. But you should definitely work on figuring out how to have that multiple streams of income, and along with saving, bringing down debt, invest, right? And so you can get some passive income in there too. So the third thing that you should be doing is branding yourself. If you're not already, make sure that you change everything to really be branding yourself. Don't mention your company in your headers, in your pictures. Don't talk about your company all the time on social media. Talk about the problems that your company solves. Talk about the types of products that you may have, but don't brand the company. When you attach yourself to a company and then something happens to that company, then what happens to you and your brand, right? So you want to be able to go on and continue in your business uninterrupted, and that's why it's so important to brand yourself. Now, I have a couple of other videos about branding, and I'll be, linking them. So if you're interested in that, you can do that, especially blog posts. My blog posts are really cool. So go to audraannikajames.com and you'll see some of my posts about branding yourself. Okay. So when this happens, it's going to be kind of, big news, and it's immediate. Sometimes it might even be rumor, right? So when this happens, the first thing you should do is to calm down and get the facts first, okay? Don't rely on rumors. That's a terrible thing to do. Get the facts, okay, before you make any kind of assumptions or make any drastic moves. Get the facts. The second thing that you should do is contact your team. Contact your team and really mobilize yourself around your team. Find out what's going on. Figure out what you guys can do to sort of mitigate what the risks of what's going on. If you're being sued, maybe you're not being shut down, but you may want to figure out the kind of communication that you want to have and give to your customers and your target audience when people start asking questions, right? Or if you get shut down, you still want to have some sort of way to communicate. So get together with your team. If you have any mentors or people that are above you in terms of sponsorship, it would be great to talk with them. Some of those people, depending on how high they go, might be closest to the people who are, or closer to the people who are more involved in this. And so it's helpful to get some really good information to help you craft your messages if you need to, okay? So that's super important. The next thing that you need to do is to contact your customers. Contact your customers and tell them what's going on. If their website is shut down and they don't have access to their products anymore, if their products were web-based, they're going to want to know what's going on, right? If you've got a product that is being shipped to customers, or people have ordered stuff and they haven't gotten it, you need to contact those customers immediately and let them know what's going on, okay? Even if you don't know, tell them you don't know, okay? Don't go ghost. That is the worst thing that you can do, is to not communicate. Communicating that you don't know is actually a really great communication. It gives somebody comfort knowing that, as a business owner, you're thinking about your customer base, okay? I would first talk to my customers first before I went ahead and talked to my target market. But if there is a need for later to, talk to your target market about what's happening, then sure, go ahead, but make sure that you use the crafted messages to make sure that, you're protecting yourself and you're not saying, anything, crazy, right? Because the last thing you want to do is disparage the company. Then that goes along with my next tip, is to be neutral about it, okay? If you're going to talk about the company, talk about your experiences. With the Monat lawsuit, for example, there are people who have said that they have had bad experiences with some of the products, but there are people who say they've had good experiences. I urge you not to lie. Okay? Don't lie about what's going on, but do talk about your experiences. If you have gotten products that you enjoy and that you like and you've had no problems with it, then that's fine. But I wouldn't necessarily, and I urge you to be neutral. I urge you not to, disparage, the company that you're with or affiliated with, but don't necessarily talk super, super highly either. There might be a lot of things that you don't know about what's going on behind the scenes in terms of why a company was either shut down or being sued, right? And so you don't want to put yourself as the face of of a company that's not doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, and because your credibility is then questioned, right? So you don't want anyone questioning your ability. Speak your truth, okay? You can't go wrong with the truth. Speak your truth, but be neutral about it. You could say something to the effect of, I know that there have been a lot of lawsuits. For example, some people have had some bad experiences and experienced things with a product. I personally have been using X, Y, and Z. I know people and I've sold product to X, Y, and Z, and these folks have been very happy and haven't had experience or problems. I'm not saying that the people who experienced the bad things are lying. I'm just giving you my perspective. We're going to wait and hold on to find out what's going on. Perhaps, we're just going to see what's going on. In the meantime, whatever that is, you fill in the blank, right? Oh, I'm sorry, the company, has been shut down. The FTC is looking at it. I don't know exactly the details of what's going on or what happened. All I can tell you is that, I've talked very highly of this company. I've used these trainings or these products, and this is what they've done for me. A, B, C, blah, blah, blah. Stay tuned. We'll see what's going on. And in the meantime, we're waiting to find out, fill in the blank, if your products who are going to be shipped, if they haven't been, if you're going to get any refunds, when you might be able to get access to the things that you've paid for, all of that kind of thing. And make sure that you tell people that you will keep them in the loop, and as you find out information, you will share that information with them, because you want them to know about all of that as soon as possible, right? But then the next thing you need to do is protect yourself, okay? Switch gears. Even if it's temporary, right? I would switch gears a little bit. If you have multiple streams of income, then it's easier to switch gears, right? Focus on some of the other products that you haven't really maybe focused on yet, and get a stream of income going with that. Maybe also start looking into other opportunities so that you can actually switch into doing something. Now, mind you, if you join another opportunity and whatever happens, maybe the company loses the lawsuit, or the FTC, reopens the company and finds that it's unfounded and lets them continue, or lets them continue with caveats or changes, right? The FTC looked at Herbalife, and Herbalife is still up and running, right? For a moment, I'm sure many of those folks go, oh my God, what's going to go on? Is Herbalife going to exist? But guess what? They do. They still exist, and they've made some changes. And hopefully those changes are really great for the people who are working on their Herbalife business, but it's still going on, right? And so that's fantastic. So the point is that you don't know what's going on. And I'm not saying jump ship and bail. I'm saying protect yourself. If you look and see another opportunity and you're interested in another opportunity, definitely join that other opportunity. It doesn't mean you abandon your other one. If it turns out that you can't go back to that other opportunity, then great. Now you've moved on. If it turns out that that other opportunity comes back to life, like Herbalife, right? Then you can continue with that and move on. And now you've got another stream of income, right? You've got the new one and the one that you have. So do all of this to protect yourself. The other thing I want to say is, be kind to your team, to your customers, to the people in the groups that you've joined who are also a part of your growing community. And if none of this has happened to you, I'm so glad for you. Thank God. The fact of the matter is that a lot of these businesses that are out there are really good businesses. They're legal. They're doing really well. And you're going to be great, right? Don't bash another company because they've fallen on hard times. And you know what? Don't immediately go and try to, grab other people. Oh my God, this company shut down. I'm going to just grab all those people and try to get them on my team to get them onto my opportunity. You're coming off like a vulture if you do. And I don't necessarily think that that's a really great way to run and increase your business. Now, if somebody comes to you that says, this is what's going on, I want to look into what you're doing, sure. I'm not saying turn any of those people away. All I'm saying is don't run after those people. Don't say, oh my God, I heard what happened. Check out my new opportunity. Check out this, right? Those people are feeling hurt. They're shocked. There is a loss of income. They may be owed money that they're not getting right now. And all of these people who own these businesses who are now are in a position where, they're relying on paying their rent, their mortgage, their bills. They're feeding their families with this business, right? And all of a sudden to have to all that be put to a halt. It's like, that's a really traumatic thing to happen. And I think that you should have some compassion and empathy for those individuals, because now they've got to figure out what to do next, and they've got to figure out what to do very, very quickly, right? And so my thought is reach out to those individuals. If you know someone who's a part of that business, have empathy, but don't be a vulture and say, hey, join my business. Okay. You know, say if there's anything that you need, you know, then I'm here to help you, or whatever it is that you can do to help someone, whether it be a friend, an associate, an acquaintance in need. But if they want to come to you, they will, right? So keep doing what you're doing in marketing your business, you know, using attraction marketing principles. And I promise you that some of those folks maybe already who know who you are, maybe they might say, you know what, I'm going to check out what that person has, right? And they'll do it on their own. Don't go after them. You know, it's a, you know, like I said, you look like a vulture, and quite frankly, you look kind of desperate, right? I personally am not going to do that. I don't want to build my business on someone else's sadness, right? Someone else's tragedy. That's just not the way that I want to operate, right? And so if you're on the other side of that, I hope that that helps, and that you give some empathy to those folks. So I hope this helps. To really sum up, you want to save your money, bring down your debt, and you know, have multiple streams of income, so that if something like this ever happens to you, then you've got something to fall back on, right? Brand yourself, right? So you don't have to switch gears so often. Get the facts. Don't rely on rumors. Talk to your team immediately. Talk to your sponsors as far up your upline as you can, to see what kind of communication is you should do, what you shouldn't do, that kind of thing. Talk to your customers. Tell them what's going on. Keep them in the loop and keep the communication going, so that they know you're doing the best that you can, because these are customers that might move over to whatever your new opportunity is going to be. So you want to keep those relationships going. Be neutral, okay? Don't talk bad about that company, but don't necessarily highly praise them either. Be neutral and stick to your own story and your own experiences before you get yourself on a bad wagon where, you know, you look like someone who is maybe as unethical as a company can be, because the company may have been doing some unethical things, right? You don't want to associate yourself with that, right? And be able to switch gears, right? Look for a new opportunity. Don't abandon your old one necessarily. Look for your new opportunity. And if the other one turns out to be great and okay, then now you've got two opportunities. But if that gets shut down permanently, now you've got something new. And finally, again, if you are not affected by all this, please don't be a vulture. Have some empathy toward your colleagues in the industry, and just keep doing what you're doing, and bring out empathy, and you know, to talk about your stuff. And if they want to come to you, they will. Don't build your business on someone else's sadness. So anyway, I hope that this really helps. It would be great if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to up my number of subscribers, so it'd be great. If you have questions, you can always reach out to me at audraannikajames.com. If you want to know more about how to brand yourself, I'm going to have links to my blog where you can check out some of my branding articles, and check out that, and so that you can start to make those kinds of changes. You know, please like, comment, and share. What's been your experience? Have you come across this before? Have you bounced back and survived? Tell me. I want to know. Please like, comment, and share, because sharing is caring. I hope this helps you. And if you are going through something like this right now, I am very, very sorry to hear that. I hope some of my tips have helped you, and I'm, you know, praying for you and thinking about you. And I hope all goes well. So I will see you all soon, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Bye.